Okay, so let's have a little look at the planetary image preprocessor and the workflow you need here. First of all, we need a file to work with. So you go to Source Files, Add Image File, and what I'm going to use on this occasion, I'm going to use some footage of the moon I did here. We'll just pick one of those randomly. They're all much the same. I think I'll do the last one because that's probably where I got everything absolutely right. And there we go. So that comes up and that will show us a window here, and that gives us an idea of what we've got. So what I'm just going to do, estimate, it's good to know at this point, estimate the roughly size in pixels, because this is 3840 by 2160 window, it's 4K video. Just let's say that the moon in that is about, let's say 1200 pixels wide, from something like that. And then we can get rid of that. We're finished with that. We've got 660 frames, which is okay. Just go through a few options. Now then, first thing here, optimize options 4. Now, this is solar, lunar, full disk. If you're doing planetary, you put there. If you're doing ISS, you put there. But this just sets some options for you. Go through here, input options. There's loads of stuff there, and I don't think we need to do any of that. That's all fine as it is. Processing options now then. Convert color to monochrome, no. Untick that if you want a color picture. And then now, right, stabilization mode, and it's already set this to object planetary because I ticked that box in the first screen. So just leave that as that, and then you get a few other things down here. Enable cropping 1200 by 1200. That's about right. Let's make that a little bit bigger, just 1600 by 1600, and then we'll definitely make sure that we've got all of the moon in there. And that is a moving box of that size, 1600 by 1600, that will follow the moon through the screen, so that when it comes out the other end, what you'll get is the moon centralized in 1600 by 1600 images. Quality options, enable quality estimation. Yeah, I use the default PIPP algorithm, is the best one there. Keep the best quality frames. Yes, now we started off with 660, but we'll make life easier for the computer by just keeping the best 300 of them. That's that there. Animation options, none. Not doing animation. Output options, TIFF. You could have AVI if you wanted to get another video out of it, but TIFF gives you a directory full of TIFF files. Use default, create subdirectory with its default name PIPP, that's fine. Then you go to the end, do processing. And when it's loaded the file, and so you just press start processing. Now this will do this processing 660 using 300 RAM buffers, because you said to keep the best 300, so it's using some RAM just to keep 300 images in the RAM, which it will then spit out at the end. So you'll get 300 pictures at this when it's finished doing it. We should probably have a little bit of music going on here just while this happens. It's quite processor intensive, and even on this Core i7 here, it's churning away nice and slowly. Of course, my video starting was 4K, which doesn't help either, but it does give us better pictures at the end. By the way, this movie was taken not with a telescope involved or anything. This was taken with a bridge camera, a Lumix FZ330 that has a 25 times zoom on it. Sorry, 24 times zoom, 600 millimeters equivalent at its longest end, and it's rather usefully f2.8 at that focal length as well. Okay, we're going through here, processing. You can spend plenty of time learning your way around this program if you want, because it takes ages. Okay, so let's see if we've been. Oh, that's sorting the 300 frames by quality now. The idea being that it's measuring how much detail is in each of the pictures and just ranking them accordingly. So we should have the best 300 of 660 already. So we should find they're all fairly sharp, hopefully. When filming movies, there's usually a few frames at either end of it where you've pressed the button and moved the camera a bit, but the bigger your tripod, the less that happens. Okay, so we should be nearly at the point where we can open the output folder and see what we've got. Sorting 300 frames by quality. There we go. Open output folder. That lights up, and we can do that. And here we are. It comes up in Explorer, and this is the directory here. And here's our images. So we'll look at our best image. There we go. That's our best image, and that's a pretty nice image of the moon. Now it is noisy because it is only one video frame. So you'll see it's got a fair bit of noise to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 300 images and stack them together, and hopefully Autostakkert will average out the noise among those 300. So let's go and do that. And this, by the way, here is this directory 20022 08 05 FZ30 Moon, and it's the second pip directory in that because I have done this once before. So we'll go to Autostakkert and we'll open, and we'll just go and find that directory, and it's there, Seagate 6 terabyte photo archive 2022 2208 05, and it's that directory there. So open that directory there, and that's where we want. Oops. And it's all image files, it comes up as supported video. You might find there's nothing there initially, and then we'll have all of those, and we'll open those in Autostakkert. Here we go, and there's one. So image stabilization. We'll do surface on this occasion, actually. And we'll have improved tracking. The plus is fine. Local, that's good. AP, and we'll analyze. Again, this is processing a lot of data here. So this is Autostakkert. 3.1.4 is the one I've got, which is I think the newest. That vaguely works. I think the development on it has more or less stopped now because this is the 2018 version, but it still works. Okay, so that's Autostakkert doing its thing. Okay, so that's done the stabilization. It does buffering and analysis. Yeah. Takes quite a long time here because we are processing an awful lot of data. Okay, so there's a quality graph for us. It's fairly normal looking, actually. Frame percentage to stack 50, so we'll get 150 stack. Sharpened, yes. RGB align, yes. Save in folders. Drizzle, no. I've never got any benefit out of drizzling, and it takes an absolute age. With planets, actually, where you want to enlarge things a bit, then maybe it's worth doing. With the moon, I would say not. Now, what I want to do here, there's a little trick you have to do here. You have to go into this other screen here and place the AP grid, and that will put these little squares for alignment all over the place, and then that will enable you to stack. So we'll do stacking now. It's a slow old process, but it goes on and it grinds its way through it. Sometimes it will go through this little loop a couple of times as well, just to get some more detail. Yeah, it's going through this loop again. .4K video is a great invention, but it doesn't half give you big files. Right, and that is done. So I'm actually just going to go back here to image files. If I do that, and we should find now, if we look in the PIPP thing, we've got this new folder has appeared there, ASP50, Autostakkert, percentage 50, that's it there. And there's two images in this, the ordinary and the unsharpened. There's the ordinary. And that's the sharpened. Now that's the sharpened is over sharpened. And also something has gone slightly wrong with this here, in that the stacking hasn't quite worked totally properly. That will sort of sharpen up. Let me just see if I can sort of do something to make this look reasonably sharp. Something like sort of 1.0 or something like that, yeah, and about 40%. That's quite a good sharpen. There we go. The best thing to do for sharpening actually is to put this into an old program called Registax. But what you'll see about this is that's a decently sharp moon, apart from that weird little artifact just there. But the background is pretty much completely noiseless. And the only other thing I'd probably do with that background is I'd just go through the colours and take out anything that's not black, which is about like that. There you go. And then I'll just squeeze this in a bit, and voila. So there, that's come out at 750 by 750. So that's a quick and dirty auto stacker on the moon, and it hasn't quite worked properly because of that. So there we are.